Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And let me say at the outset that I made a mistake. 4 years ago, I voted to reauthorize this law. A number of my Republican colleagues came to me and said that there have been excessive efforts made under this law that cannot be justified. I thought they overstated the case. They did not. And I sit here today readily acknowledging to the chairman and other members of the panel that I made a mistake in that vote. I hope that we can rectify that mistake in the actions that we are about to take in this committee. Our form of government is grounded on the premise that unchecked power is tyranny. The independent counsel is unchecked, unbridled, unrestrained, and unaccountable. Our system of justice is grounded on the presumption of innocence and the belief that it's better for a wrongdoer to go unpunished than an innocent man be wrongly convicted. Statements by the independent counsel Smoltz in the Espy case and the actions of other independent counsels make it clear that this basic rule of law in America has too often been ignored. Let me read to you the words of Archibald Cox when he wrote, quote, "Independent counsels must see their function not as pursuit of a target to be wounded or destroyed, but as an impartial inquiry with as much concern for public exoneration of the innocent as for indictment." Unfortunately, this message has been lost. Our experience with this statute has been tainted by some prosecutors who've let their ambition cloud their judgment. Recall last December, right after a jury acquitted former Agriculture Secretary Mike Espy of 30 corruption counts lodged against him after a 4-year, $17 million investigation, independent counsel Don Smoltz remarked, and I quote, "The actual indictment of a public official may be as great a deterrent as a conviction of that official," close quote. That outrageous statement led the Attorney General of the United States a week later to say, quote, "I will say that in terms of what I do at the Justice Department, a person is innocent until proven guilty, and that it is a conviction that speaks." I'm glad the Attorney General made that statement. Let me talk about the accountability under the law, because you see, as it's written, the independent counsel is accountable to the Attorney General. Those who opened the morning paper had a chance to note that even that very premise of the law is being questioned in court today. This morning we learned that Attorney General Reno's authority to hold independent counsel Starr accountable is being challenged by a 3-judge panel at the behest of a politically conservative advocacy group, the Landmark Legal Foundation. And I hope you will note for the record that Mr. Starr is suggesting that the only way he can be properly investigated is by the appointment of an independent counsel. Where does this end? I think, frankly, that we have a responsibility here to look beyond the abuses and excesses of Kenneth Starr to the clear abuses by Lawrence Walsh, by Donald Smoltz, and by others. And I hope that if the issue is prosecutorial abuse, that we are not naive enough to believe that this abuse is isolated solely to the actions of an independent counsel. As I discuss the strategy and tactics of Kenneth Starr in this latest case with other prosecutors, they think I'm naive to believe that isn't happening in a lot of different places across America every day. All of us want crime under control, but at what cost? And I would hope that we would be as sensitive to the rights of ordinary Americans as we are to high-profile Americans who become the targets of independent counsels in Washington, D.C. Given this record, what are we to do? I'll vote to end this law and seek a mechanism to guarantee future prosecutors in this area are both independent and accountable. I don't believe it's possible to fix this flawed statute.